Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. e5 is a common response that establishes a presence in the center, controls d4, and opens up the queen and dark-squared bishop. F3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e5 pawn, and prepares to castle. C6 develops the knight toward the center, protects the pawn on e5, and eyes the d4 square. The Ruy Lopez opening develops the bishop to immediately attack the knight on c6, the lone defender of the e5 pawn. A6 forces the bishop to decide, exchange or retreat. Ba4 safely retreats the bishop while keeping pressure on the knight. F6 attacks the undefended e4 pawn and develops the knight at the same time. Castling gets the king out of the center and prepares to develop the rook to e1. B7 develops the dark-squared bishop and prepares to castle. 1 rupee centralizes the rook and protects the e4 pawn. B5 gains space on the queen side and forces the bishop to the b3 square. B3 is forced, but the bishop is well placed because it attacks the f7 square. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. C3 prepares the d4 pawn push, opens up the c2 square for the bishop and allows the queen to develop on the queen side. D5 takes space in the center, attacks the e4 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. X5 captures the d5 pawn, attacks the knight on c6 and allows the e1 rook to attack the e5 pawn. Nx-d5 recaptures the d5 pawn and centralizes the knight. Nxe5 captures the pawn and places the knight on a strong central square where it attacks the knight on c6 and the f7 pawn. Nxe5 captures the knight on e5 and centralizes the knight where it attacks many important squares. Rxe5 captures the knight on e5 and attacks the knight on d5. C6 defends the knight on d5 and allows the queen to develop on the queen side. This moves the bishop to a more active square, making it gain scope. It is the last book move. There was only one good move in that position. This overlooks an opportunity to prepare a bishop for development. It is a mistake. There were worse moves, but also something much better. It is an inaccuracy. This misses a better way to prepare a bishop for development. It is an inaccuracy. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening.